Listen, the last person you want saying there's no escape is this motherfucker, okay? You get trapped in a room with this guy. I know that he looks weak. If he were wearing a trench coat, you're done. It's over. It's over. Okay, you get locked in a room with this man wearing a trench coat, you're dead. It's in 7 different ways, all right? This man studied the blade. So I just came across this video from a channel called Night's Watch. I thought it looked interesting, specifically because they used the word woke unironically in the title, and that's always a good sign. Woke localizers fail at their one job, inserting propaganda. And the thumbnail has, you can see it in the corner here, it's a little, or the side, it's a little small. It has a anime girl on it, which is from Maid, I think, which is a really weird one, honestly. I did not get into it, but they're about to, so let's join them. Let's go.
Welcome back to The Watch. And guys, we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects.
What's that?
Wow. They all look like me at different stages of my beard, if I had hair.
You should be
Politics?
No.
AI art?
AI, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I guess AI art is one of my favorite, but this isn't actually AI art. This is just AI.
Nice.
Other applications of AI technology and a controversy surrounding it regarding translations of anime into English called localization. You guys heard anything about this?
Yes, we have, yes.
Yeah, I've watched anime before, so yeah.
I am someone who personally prefers original Japanese.
You're a sub guy?
I like subs. Yeah.
I'm a dub guy.
And I know just enough Japanese to be like, dub. I think I know what they said if I'm not looking at the TV screen.
I'm a dub guy because I'm lazy. I mean, I can enjoy something easily fun with subtitles, but dubs are just easier, and sometimes
dubs are easier.
Good job on them. That's the key. A good job. You want a good job.
We're on the same page so far.
The dubs really well done. I think the dubs for the most part in Dragon Ball Z really well done, and I end up becoming attached to the voice of that character. Like Goku, he has a voice to me, and I actually think the English voice is better than the Japanese voice. Doesn't a girl do Goku's voice?
Yeah. Oh.
I know where the young one.
Yeah. It is a very different voice from the dub to the Japanese.
And I prefer
All right, get to the point. Let's go.
Goku way more.
I agree in this specific case because I grew up watching the dubs as a child. We didn't have that.
If you've ever seen like the Goku when he's chatting like
I swear, if this
Japanese version
gets me a copyright strike or whatever.
Goku's this
Not a strike, but you know.
Anyways, there is a job that people perform because there's a job for everything, and one of those is translating something from Japanese to English.
Let's go.
Because, you know,
which, by the way, I've heard accusations before that woke translators are doing shit. Like the big one that I know of is in the One Piece community. There's a big schism about a character named Yamato, who is essentially a trans man in the English dub. But I guess in Japan, it's a little bit more obscure, like what it is. But basically, this character identifies very heavily with a male, so the character's born female, and he identifies very heavily with somebody named Odin, okay? And he wants to literally be Odin, okay? And in the absence of that, I don't think that he would be like a trans man, but it doesn't matter what the reason is for why you identify the way you identify. And the bottom line is in the dub, he goes by he, him pronouns. He uses the men's facilities. He is called a man by all of the characters. He is called son by Kaido, his dad. And I just don't see any other option than to call him a trans man, you know? But people blame the translators. They're like, oh no, the woke translators put that shit in there. Ugh. But, you know, again, like there are literal panels of Yamato using the men's bathroom at the same time as the men. Like when I say bathroom, I mean a literal bath, right? They're all in the bath together. And he's in there with the men. So, you know, anyway.
We need to know what they're saying.
Well, they call it localizations because when you're trying to take something from one language to another, a word-for-word translation...
Specifically, two very different languages, like, let's say, English and Japanese, where contextually things are different. That's like an important caveat here. This isn't like going from Canadian to American or something. I'm joking. But like there are some languages that can go one-to-one, and then there are some where it's like they have gendered words, they have different contextual things behind word. Like sometimes it can be very tricky.
Yes, and so that's why it's called localization, because you're actually trying to convey the meaning. That's the key. It should be the meaning
trans woman from the same
original
arc,
intent of the original words in that language. And so sometimes there's going to be difficulties, like, for instance, if they have like puns that are based off of, words that say like shit.
This
shit,
is
shit,
all
something like that,
true.
and you have a pun that's something like that. You can't translate if those puns don't have the same thing.
Yeah, there was a really funny one. So here's a good example of that. Aichiro Oda, the guy who wrote One Piece, was asked one time, very early on in One Piece, who would win in a fight between Zoro and Sanji, two of the main male characters. And so he answered, wait, did you just ask me who would win in a dick fight between them? And the reason he answered that, it may sound weird to us, but the word for Japanese for dick, the equivalent is similar to the word for fight, I guess, or something like that, something to that effect. I don't remember exactly. But the point is, that was a pun that went over a lot of Americans' heads, and so we were just like scratching our heads like, what the hell? Why would you say that, Gabo?
Rhyming, if there's things that are meant to rhyme in one language, it's not going to. How do you do that?
Yeah, sometimes it rhymes phonetically in English, but then it's not going to rhyme in. It's going to be different words. Yeah.
And so the intent behind the localization, it can be tricky, but it should be to keep the core, message of what the original content is. Unfortunately,
I agree with all this so far.
Turns out there's a lot of localizations that do not do that.
Let's
in
go.
fact,
Here we go.
They purposely inject woke propaganda
Let's
and
go.
ideology because it's
They
being done by
inject it.
people who want to send a message, subverting the original intent of what is a lot of these things. And sometimes they will
Give them a
do
little
things
woke
inject
enema.
where it's completely
Doink.
unneeded, right? Where there's examples you can see where the translation, someone says this, besides, it's expected for men to have scars. Women must remain delicate. Actually, it sounds Japanese, honestly, that term at times of philosophy. Well, the localizers, they had to make sure that you understand, that sounds kind of silly to me. Are you always this sexist? Is the response that the localized content adds.
Yeah.
There is
I agree.
caveat to this sort of thing that I can understand if a localizer is trying to make something make a bit more sense in a different culture, because there's just things in different cultures that literally wouldn't make sense to us. We wouldn't even understand. So I can understand when they try and massage some certain things so they make a little bit more sense to us. This is not that.
This is not that.
This is not that.
There's cases where you see a character suddenly talk about
patriarchy. Is the idea that they're upset that the localizers aren't translating it one for one, as if they're taking it and changing it so that it's not as I mean, that is one of the jobs of the localizers, just so you know. It's to take something and make it more digestible for the audience that they are localizing it for. If you take a piece of if your goal is to here's a good example. If your goal is to make money, like Disney, right? And Disney made Lightyear. And Lightyear was, I've heard, a shit movie, or at least mid. But anyway, Lightyear had a scene in it where two lesbians kiss each other. One little peck. That's it. It was very short, and you could cut, and it was set up so that you could very easily cut it out. And so what they did was, in China, the localizers cut that out, right? They cut the kiss out because gay is a big no-no in China, right? And so if your drive is to make money, then sometimes you will do that. You'll localize it such that it is more digestible for that audience, even if it's not true to the original source material. Now, that's a capitalism problem, in my opinion, not so much a social issues problem, because again, capitalists are just going to, go with whatever the local population likes. Okay, whatever they like is is the slop that they're going to get fed. So if they don't like the gays, they're not going to get the gays. They're going to get all the straights. All right. And they can keep them for all I care, by the way. But anyway, point is, I don't think that's a fault of the localizers themselves. I just think that's a money move for the most part.
Gays and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Dragon Maid example.
The Dragon Maid example is the one that's been going around a lot. And
I don't know this
that
one.
is not the original intent behind this stuff at all. And it seems like a lot of it is coming from Crunchyroll.
Yeah, they've always done that for anime.
I saw the tweets from the person who did those localizations. That was wild. Basically, screw you, I'm gonna do what I want. You're all Nazis. That was the response. I was like, what?
It's insane.
Yeah.
What?
It's all news
Wait,
to me.
who's all Nazis? What did I miss?
Person who did those localizations. That was wild. Basically, screw you, I'm gonna do what I want. You're all Nazis. That was the response. I was like, what?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So the person who localized called the people who were calling them out Nazis. Okay, I see. I mean, probably.
It's all news to me. So
The people who are going to be the most upset about them putting some woke garbage or whatever are going to be Nazis. Okay, so it would not shock me.
There was an interview where someone asked that person about, and I don't even know what their name is, about what do you feel about the criticisms you receive for changing,
because it's not your work. It's not your work. You're changing something that else somebody else has done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't like about any of this.
And she deflected by saying they all have a problem with me because I have a vagina and I'm a woman, basically. And if I wake up and
Okay, hold on. I've got to get a fact check on this. What is this about? Here, Dragon Maid localization. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid seems to be having localization issues. Twinfire telling everyone to be outraged and upset. Someone defends it. Twinfire is what? In the sub, Lukoa says that she changed clothes because people were begging her to dress more modestly, so that's what she did. Tora then tells her that she should change her body next, therefore siding with the humans, which, when you think about it, isn't something she'd normally do. It's in her character to side more with her dragons than with humans. I know a little bit about the show. Basically, you have like dragons who are able to shapeshift into humans, and then they meet like a real human, and it's like, oh wow, I have to deal with this crazy cast of characters now, right? Kind of like that. Changing your body because society thinks you should isn't exactly cool. The dub, on the other hand, has Lukoa saying that she changed for basically the same reason, but she specifically says that, quote, patriarchal societal demands were getting on her nerves. Toru then says that society will be begging her to change back after a while, therefore not siding with the humans and staying true to her character in the process. Okay, so it seems like they did change the core message. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, because I agree that this one seems better if that stays in character, right? Like, if the localizers are literally changing the story to make it better, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. To me, though, it seems like they were just doing it to make it more marketable. And that's the main issue that I have, is changing these things just to make it more marketable. I don't like that, okay? I don't know. I can see both sides of it.
That I get to upset Nazis, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm paraphrasing, but that's effectively what she said, which is the most, like, we've seen this again and again. Everyone who disagrees with me is a Nazi, right? Like, how dare anyone actually have a problem?
Right. So, actually, I'd like to see, what's her name? Former Funimation scriptwriter Jamie Markey doubles down on her infamous anti-patriarchy localization of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This is what happens when a script is dubbed into a different language. So it's Jamie Marchi. Oh, she's a voice actress as well. As the discourse against the Western localization industry's absolute butchering of Japanese media rages on in 2024, well, this sounds very biased. Former Funimation scriptwriter Jamie Markey has kicked off her new year by doubling down on her intentional and now infamous botching of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid's English language dub. This latest round of localizer discourse arose after Bushiroad Works announced that in order to circumvent piracy, they would begin using a hybrid of AI. Blah, blah, blah. Western localizers took the news as an insult, many of them ironically upset that their work, which is often riddled with, I really do not want AI doing localizations. No, thank you. There is an art to localizing that goes very unappreciated. I feel like I can't show that. This is why I don't watch the show, by the way. Like, it's not a problem that I have specifically with a body type. It's that this is basically all the appeal is. Like, these might as well be the same character. I'd rather do it for marketing reasons than don't do it. It gets partial credit. I don't know how I feel about it. Because I don't want them altering the original story, but like, sometimes you have to. Okay, I don't know what she actually said. Despite not being one-to-one, the manga, this interaction was kept relatively similar. Everyone was always saying something to me, so I tried toning down the exposure. You should change your body next. I don't want to play that because I'm going to get in trouble. She was called out. She blamed the entire backlash on nothing more than fans' own inherent misogyny.
It's a stroll of power, and I appreciate it.
Well, I'm kind of scared to ask this question now because I don't want to bring down the room. So this is more directed at Jamie, but all of you can answer.
Go, Jamie, go. I'm excited about it. I'm ready to bring down the room. Let's do it.
We need a spotlight.
So Funimation has come under, let's call it, criticism for how they choose to adapt their scripts for
like
a couple of
unnecessary
shows.
hate. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, and a lot of that I feel is directed at you unfairly.
Thank you.
So how would you like to respond to that kind of criticism?
To the criticism, like, I have a vagina. Deal with it. Like, it's honestly, that's the truth. I am a woman. I am a funny woman. We are all talented, funny, powerful women. We are out.
Okay, I don't care if she's in the right or not. I hate her so much. I hate her. She is insufferable. Who talks like this? No. She's annoying as shit.
Here, it's going to happen. Deal with it. I'm sorry you're not getting laid. It's not about you.
Wow.
That's my reaction.
Okay, I'm going to be as charitable as I possibly can. This lady has probably been through the ringer on Twitter and shit. You know what I mean? Like, she has seen it all. She's gotten death threats, DMs, like, telling her that she's ugly as sin. All that. Like, I'm sure that I don't want to take that away from her. I am sure that they have reamed this poor woman, okay? But holy shit, do you come off as abrasive and fucking irritating, okay? I'm sorry. This is the last person that I would want to spend time with in any capacity. You in some ways, when you act like this, I hate saying this, you almost kind of bring it on yourself. You're not doing anything wrong, but like you're kind of throwing bait out there. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you look, man. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Women are
There were a lot
insufferable.
of
This is
really
true.
angry Reddit comments that winner.
But thank you. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
I think you nailed it.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to say that.
She does? Yes.
Okay, I think I've seen enough of this. If that was her answer, that was pretty shit. I can see why the anime conservatives are latching onto this, honestly.
Problem with them changing the meaning of what they're doing and adding their own progressive agenda into it.
I don't think
They
she
must
used the
be
word
a-
Nazi, although, to be fair, I don't think it would surprise me if she did.
The-
So I'll let them have
And people
it.
are probably thinking, well, why is this a big deal? Well, just imagine somebody like this was doing this on the UN, where you were just like translating language. It's one of those things. Remember when we had, I can't remember, the Broadway show or whatever, and Steven Spielberg or whatever was like, we're not going to translate the Spanish half because that's colonization. And it's like, how am I supposed to know what somebody's saying? Translating language has been one of these weird ones that's gone under the radar for the most part, where it's very important because people need to be able to speak to each other and understand one another. And when you decide to take liberties with what somebody's saying or not saying, that's a big problem.
It is. It is. It looks like a lot of these woke localizations are being done on things that kind of slip under the radar. They don't do it in the big ones, like on My Hero Academia or Naruto or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's the lesser known ones where they
Convenient.
are much more happy to take a lot of liberties. And
Well, keep in mind, they're doing these.
Wait,
little-
Dragon Maid is very well known. Like, it's not shonen, but it's well known enough.
liberties with something they don't.
I certainly
agree with.
wouldn't call
It's not
it
even
lesser
like
known.
they're just changing everything. They're changing things that they specifically don't ideologically agree with.
oh, they have issues with a lot of
Localizations,
anime kind of
translations.
that's,
Why are you translating anime? Like,
they want to make it the way that they perceive to be.
And a gay.
it's also known because I feel like people go to anime a lot because they like the Japanese culture and they're like, I want to escape the Western culture to watch
What?
some anime, and then no, it's there as well.
I have never heard of anybody watching anime because they like specifically for like to escape American culture. I've never heard of this. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people out there, but no, this is made up.
And
There's no escape.
so one of the responses to this
Ominous.
is that some of these Japanese anime companies
Listen, the last person you want saying there's no escape is this motherfucker, okay? You get trapped in a room with this guy. I know that he looks weak. If he were wearing a trench coat, you're done. It's over. It's over. Okay? You get locked in a room with this man wearing a trench coat, you're dead. And it's in 7 different ways, all right? This man studied the blade.
No escape.
So one of the responses to this is that some of these Japanese
Men like this are why I don't
companies,
go to
instead of
cons.
hiring these Western localizers to translate the stuff, they're going to get AI to do it for them.
This guy's so much quieter than the
All power to
other
him. But so I'm not 100% on board with everything AI.
Yeah. Lately, you
Wait. Okay, no, you don't want AI doing it. Have you seen Google Translate? Okay, it kind of sucks. Like, it's not 1000% useless, but it kind of sucks. If you're doing AI translations of anime, no, please no.
YouTube has been infested with AI in everything. In shorts,
It's gonna come off so
I've seen-
robotic.
oh my god, countless shorts. Where
Okay, here's what it is. If they do AI translations of everything, every single anime is going to sound exactly the same. The cadence is going to be the same. The rhythm's going to be the same. Like, none of it's going to be unique. It's just going to be dog shit. It's going to be pumped out goo. You ever seen the SpongeBob episode where the new company comes in and they take over the Krusty Krab, and then all they're like SpongeBob's not a fry cook anymore. He's a machine operator, and so all he does is like pull the lever on the machine, and then it pumps out gray shit, and then it spray paints the shit so that it looks like a Krabby Patty. Okay, I don't want shit patties. Please, no crappy patties. No, it's slop. Thank you. Yes, it is slop. Okay, I want the real deal. All right, I want to see that cow get slaughtered in front of me. I want the blood soaking my t-shirt while I bite into it. Do you understand? That's how authentic I want it.
it's like voiceovers with AI,
Some
thumbnails
voiceovers.
using AI. I've seen AI
Thumbnails
everywhere
are
lately.
busy, but, like if
I haven't seen it much.
No, no.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't
use
condone
voiceovers and
animal
thumbnails,
violence.
as you mentioned them, right? But thumbnails, all power to them. Great.
Thumbnails, I'm much more understanding. Things like these shorts, I don't like shorts to begin with, but all I've been seeing is like random facts with AI voiceovers and all this sort of stuff. It's starting to pop.
Do Wang translation? I'm pretty sure that used a translation software. No, I have not. Is it bad? Is it good? I work on my own thumbnails, and I think it's really fucking cheap that people are using AI now for thumbnails. Like, I know you got to get the thumbnails out, but I feel like it's such a lost art. You know what I mean? Like, there's an art to it, you know, to catching somebody's eye. It's fun to like figure out, okay, what is the thing that is going to make people click my video? And I figured out pretty good. But if you're using AI, you're just cheating, you know? It sucks. It sucks. Come on, play the damn game.
All I've been seeing is like random facts with AI voiceovers and all this sort of stuff. It's starting to pop up everywhere. And I don't know if I'm
If you
feeling
don't
it.
like it, don't watch it.
I
Can't help himself. You know?
I would love to not watch shorts, but YouTube pushes them on me, Shad. I don't have a choice.
You're still clicking on it, if you know. Why don't click on it?
Read a book, you know.
Yeah.
All right, there's a couple of reasons why I'm fully on board with this version of it. It empowers the original creators to have more control over their product, okay? I feel it's really dirty that they are
Turn up your
trusting
damn
Western
mic.
localizers to translate their product in such a way that would keep the core intent of that product, and it's not happening, okay? And they're doing a crappy job. All power to them, they get to get that control back. But all right, even then, right? Pretend that
I do think if they're changing the core message, I do have an issue with that. Based on what I saw from her and also what I read, I don't know much about the show, like I said. I know the premise and that's about it. And I also know it's got some weird shit in it. Based on what I saw, it does seem like she changed the core message a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that would change the entire show, but that is a character moment that you are now taking control of a little bit more than you should be. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I kind of agree that they're kind of foregoing the spirit. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're, you know, doing the woke shit. You know, they're rolling this into their the same cocktail that they roll everything else they consider woke into. They're not doing this in good faith, but I do think that they have a point here. Yeah, AI art really is the death of humanity.
it's there's a company that just wants to do AI translation and not hire localizers anyway, okay? And there wasn't a controversy about the quality of the localization. A company has every right to find a means to make a good product at a better price, okay? One of the advantages of getting AI to do it is that they would actually have the capacity to do a simultaneous Western-Japanese release at the same time and have the Japanese have their Western
No, they
dub out
wouldn't.
at the same time because they can do it a lot.
No, these people have no clue how AI works. No, you can't just automatically shoot a Japanese version of something into an AI thing and then have it spit out a perfect script in English. It doesn't work like that. Okay, it takes guesses. Okay, just like the English, like literal people, humans have to guess at what exactly is meant by certain things when they're translating from Japanese to English. Modern day languages, okay? They have to guess sometimes. So what the hell do you think an AI script is going to look like? It's going to be filled to the brim with inconsistencies and jokes that don't make sense and puns that don't land. It would be a train wreck. You have to have people edit that shit. Okay, there's still work that goes into it. Granted, albeit not as much, but there's still work that goes into it after the fact. So it would still be a delayed release. Like, just say you don't know how AI works.
That's awesome. That empowers the company
it's not.
to be able to give their product.
And like I
to a
said,
wider
also,
audience
it's going to be
from the
slop.
get-go. And the reality is, the cream will rise to the surface. If the AI translation is just dog crap, people are going to complain about it and they're going to prefer localization. If it's better, you get a.
No, that's not always how that works. Okay, some people will eat the slop. And if enough people eat the slop, then it won't matter if, like, other people don't like the slop. Because they'll be forced to eat the slop too.
A product out of it. Okay. And by the way, people will still be employed to do this. This isn't like robbing in actual fact, it's going to take some AI technician or someone to do it, to review it, to double check and everything like that. And it's going to create a different
If
industry in the
everybody's
industry,
doing
and
it,
be
you
able to do
can't
faster,
complain
with a
about
better
it.
turnaround and give you a better product in the end. I don't see an issue with this. Okay. And people, they say they lose their jobs. It's like, there'll be new jobs created out of this. All right.
You know where AI needs to go? I don't know how many people know this, but AI has literally been asked. You can ask the AI, hey, AI, what is AI better for? An artist or a CEO? You know what it'll say? It's better as a CEO. You know why? CEOs do nothing but sit in an air-conditioned office pushing numbers all day. Guess what computers are really good at doing? Sitting in an air-conditioned office pushing numbers. That's exactly what computers do. That's exactly what CEOs do. I think this is a perfect match, guys. I think we found a good use for AI. You know where I don't want AI? All of my creative shit. Why would you create a machine that creates? You know what I mean? Like, creatively. Why would you do that? Why not just be a creative person? You know? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Machines are meant to make things easier, make processes easier, make things go faster, make things more efficient. We use technology and machines to make better art, not by making the machine make the art, but giving us tools that help us better craft it. You know, I'm so pissed off about the whole AI thing because I know that everything's going to be eaten up by it and it's just a matter of time. And these dipshits will eat the slop. They'll eat the slop. That's the thing. Everybody will eat it. Myself included. because we'll be forced to. Ugh.
A new industry, and it's just the natural evolution of technology.
My only, not reserve, like, I'm just curious, does it work the same
Susan,
way
that sounds
like art does?
hilarious.
How it has like the build or the library that it draws upon? Like, how does it actually work with the AI voice stuff?
So,
Because if it samples a whole bunch of like current day Hollywood media, you're just going to
no,
get.
no, it's not like that at all. AI translation works off of the original input, like voice, right?
Yeah.
And it can actually replicate that same voice in the other language.
Oh, good.
And so that's what it actually gets.
English
You might
voice
even get
actors,
voices.
go fuck yourselves.
It's weird because the Dragon Ball Z, I wouldn't have.
I was gonna say,
an
like, when
English
you're gonna
voice in the tone of the original, it would reflect the intent of the original of the creator.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't, because Goku in Japanese sounds very different from Goku in English for a good reason. Because that kind of person makes more sense to an American sounding like Goku does in America than it does how he sounds in Japanese. They literally have a woman play Goku in Japan. I don't like their voice actor as much, okay? I'm not saying that to bash her, okay? She's a great voice actor, but I don't like it as much as the American voice actor, Sean Schemmel, okay? I have personal issues with Sean Schemmel, but he's a great voice actor. So, where was I going with this? AI voice Goku sounds like the most soulless version of Goku. I know, right? Like, they just want to... No. I hate this so much that they're even considering this shit.
Right? And so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, I think the Goku is probably an exception. That if we get the voices that sound
Oh,
like
that's the exception.
what the
Got it.
character was first more intended to be like by the vision of the
Imagine a Piccolo that's not voiced by Christopher Sabat, you know, or an Alex Louise Armstrong, or an All Might, or a Zorro. You know, Christopher Sabat is so much more than just a voice for these characters. He is these characters, okay? These voice actors in English bring life to these characters. They make them people. They make them characters. They make them real, okay? It's the voice actors that do that. It's the one, I think, okay, there's two things that differentiate an anime from a manga. You know what it is? Two main things. One is that the anime moves, right? It's a moving picture, okay? But it's still a picture. So in that sense, it's kind of the same. But the other major difference is that there is now an audio element. An audio element, okay? That's where the voices come in. Because in a book, you have to make that shit up in your own head. But the whole point of the voice actor is to bring that shit to life. And if you have an AI do that, no, you, dude. You. It's already lifeless. Why would you try to bring life into something using a lifeless robot? Disgusting.
creator. That's also a really good thing.
Soulless.
More power to it. And so, to me, this is something that empowers the creators of these animes to ensure that it remains true to what it was meant to be. They gain control
I'm not
over
sure,
it.
Queen
And
Laura.
also, potentially a means to make the product come to the Western audience
Exactly,
faster.
Avalon.
And quality is going to be an interesting one. The technology is still progressing. If they're going to do it right, they're going to need someone, several people.
There's no doing it right.
to not only translate it, but to double check it. And then they're going to need someone to understand the actual cultural thing, the issues that you run into that.
Yeah.
And so they're going to need someone who actually does speak both languages anyway, that's going to understand the translative part. And then what they'll actually have to do then, they'll have to re-record the audio, if they don't have anyone speaking Japanese, right? In what the translation would be, and then get the in Japanese and then translate it in English so it makes sense in the English context. And guess what? That's going to require another person to do it, right? And so it's still going to...
Yeah, this is too much. Why would you go through all this trouble? Just use a fucking English voice actor, you cheap sons of bitches.
hire more people. Sorry.
You
It's
business
probably gonna hire
brain
as much
soulless
people. If the
husks.
technology gets better, it might improve and get less. But that just means the company gets to save more money, and then they'll be able to make more anime.
This
more
will save me a
animations
penny.
as a result.
Yoink.
People think that like when a company just suddenly is able to produce something for cheaper, right? That they're going to pocket all the saved profits.
Yes.
Dedicated companies, what they do that they use.
Oh,
that money
of
to really
course,
make
right.
more. Like
To
hypothetically,
make
Hollywood
to
is
make
spending
more
like
money. Yeah. Well, that's pocketing it though. That's that you might as well be pocketing it. Okay, you're still using that money to make more money, and part of that is going to be cutting costs. Okay, like firing people and shit. They are always trying to maximize their income, no matter what. Even if they are putting out good shit. Riot put out a masterpiece in Arcane. That is a masterpiece. It is so good. And they're making a sequel, okay? I believe that Riot, the top dogs at Riot, do have some kind of sense of passion for this shit. Because they throw money at these artists. It almost seems like and tells them to go wild with it. And they just want to, like, they're so passionate about it. And I can tell that everybody who worked on Arcane has passion about it. But those are few and far between, my friend. Okay? Most of them are just going to take that money and gobble it up. They don't give a shit. They will serve slop. Again, it is slop. They will serve slop if it saves them a penny, okay? They will serve slop over anything that tastes like any kind of actual food. Or in this case, anything that would resemble a TV show, a proper TV show.
100 million to make a film, right?
Hollywood's not a good example.
Yeah, but let's use this as an example, right? Say they get a technology that enables them
You
to
will
make
eat the
same
slop, you will
quality
live
film
in the
for
condo.
anything on color Hollywood, a good quality film
Condo,
for
apartment.
20 million instead of 100 million.
Mm.
If they're
We'll
a business
collect
with
fucking
a
rent
that
from
actually
you.
wants
Is
to
the point?
make money, right? They're not just going to make one movie for 20 million and then pocket the other 80 million that they could have developed, produced investment. No, they're going to use the other 80 million and make 5 or 4. Four additional high quality films, and you get more high quality films. Hopefully, that's the goal.
will live
That's
in the cubicle.
True potential. But to think it's all going to be the apocalyptic version, no. I know for me, especially with graphic novel development stuff like that, anything that arises that enables me to save money in development is great, because that means the money I save, I
You're
put
like
into
firing
developing
people.
more stuff, which ultimately.
That, man. You know what I say? Waste more money. Okay, you know what I'm doing when I'm trying to make something with art? I waste money. I waste money on resources. I waste material. I lose shit. Shit happens. And sometimes that's just the way it is with art. Waste money. I want these companies to waste more money on their art, okay? It costs way more to do something like a original claymation, right? Like like from the ground up, constructed claymation. It costs way more to do that than it costs to just use an AI generator to like make a claymation. You know what I mean? And I've seen that shit and it looks garbage. All right. It takes a lot more time to do it the old fashioned way, but guess what? The final product is a lot more special. It looks a lot better and you can tell the love that has been put into it as opposed to some AI garbage nonsense. Yeah. And people like him call us lazy and entitled. Exactly. And what is the point of money if we can't spend it on enriching people's lives? That's the approach I've been taking lately to money. Is like I do throw money around a little bit more than I probably should, guys. But at the end of the day, we got 80 to 100 years on this planet, and I'm gonna use every single ounce of it enjoying myself. All right, enjoy life a little bit if you have the money to do so. If you don't, get good. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Amounts in me hiring more people. Right? And so, yeah, AI art is going to enable me to save money in certain areas.
Point being, don't be afraid to waste a little money here.
Hand-drawn human art to develop more graphic novels. That's what AI is really going to empower a lot of businesses to do. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with this translation stuff, where it's going at the moment.
Line must go up.
No, with this, this is one of those smaller things that goes under the radar where it's just, you're not happy with what they're trying to do, what they're trying to pull. And in this
recall, by the way, that this whole thing started with a pseudo. They pretend to be pointing out that the localizers were not doing a good enough job of staying loyal to the original. Like they're virtue signaling, basically. Like, oh my goodness, oh no, the original artist of this art will not have their art be the art that they wanted to art, right? Because of the localizers. And now they're saying like, f the artist, right? The voice actors, fuck them. Just use AI for everything. Oh, you have a good anime idea. Hey, shit it into an AI. It'll shit it back out, and then you can eat it and spit it up and vomit it and then shit it again. It's all shit is my point. And they're hypocrites.
Specific case, especially when it comes to something like language, I would much prefer. I wouldn't trust an AI, but at the same time, I also wouldn't trust these other people as well.
You know what I trust? I would trust a human overseeing AI tools to produce it. Because if people think it's just AI. No, it's a human using.
A human overseeing AI tools is the least trustworthy person on the fucking planet. No.
And this human probably, if they
what are they using it for?
Someone speaks Japanese and English, double checking them, and they'll be able to do it themselves and keep the intent. And it's not going to have the woke propaganda stuff because Japan, for the most part, they're not on board with any of that nonsense. You know? Yeah. That's why we love Japan. There are some companies that, but Japan for the most part is pretty solid.
And some societal norms that, there's a couple of things that's wrong with Japan. Let's be honest here. They're not perfect.
There are some weird things in Japan. Don't get me wrong.
No, I don't really watch Some More News that much. I know they're funny, but I don't know. It's not my style.
Right. Still, they're My Hero Academia is one of the most solid pieces of current superhero content that actually captures the core of superhero content, right? It's great.
I have a lot of problems with that show, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because you specifically caveated it as superhero. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I thought you were going to say best anime. I was going to be like,
no. It has the theme of what it really means to be a hero.
Yeah, as far as shonen goes, My Hero's pretty stock.
Self-sacrificing, someone great.
Pretty run-of-the-mill.
It has those themes in it. It's great. And we go to anime because they're still making some really good, solid stuff that has some of those traditional themes that we love. And now this is just going to protect a lot of the stuff that we like and take away the power of people trying to subvert it and inject agenda. And so that's why there's very little sympathy for this. It's because that's been one of the results. People think, don't you have sympathy for people who potentially going to lose their jobs? And they say, The human localizers
Oh, okay,
always do a
hold
better
on,
job.
hold on.
Not always.
I'm sorry. You are literally doing your job wrong.
Yes.
Like you are
And
actually
they're
doing a
proud about
bad
it.
job. So if they lose their job for it, I'm like, I mean, you're not doing your job.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, if the localizer is literally like changing the original content and making and almost like lying about what it's supposed to say, I agree. They should come under scrutiny for that. I don't know about lose their job, but surely like there's some way to check them on that and be like, hey, maybe next time don't change what this was supposed to be originally. Because at the end of the day, I do think that she did change the original message, the original quote. She literally changed what the character said in a way that she knew changed it, okay? So I agree that something should be done with her. But like I don't know, they just seem really vitriolic about it. My only point.
Oh,
Yes.
so okay, you're paid to do this. Anyway, sorry. I don't
You
want
get what you deserve. That's and they have been proud.
Yeah,
and
my heroes,
like, celebrating the fact that they have been doing a bad job.
It's funny because I showed it to Katie way before I showed her One Piece, and I was like, Katie, you'll love this anime, because I was really into it at the time. I was like, you'll love this. The main character is basically just you, and so we watched it, and it's like Deku doing the thing where he's like stepping with his feet and holding his backpack, and she's like, oh my god, you called me out. So she likes it a lot.
Saying you're just a Nazi and I like upsetting Nazis and I'm going to keep doing what we're doing.
I didn't see her calling anybody a Nazi, but I could be
So
wrong.
yeah. And this is one example where AI tools empower creators to not only make more, but
By the way, what's so funny to me is like anybody who's accusing somebody of like calling everybody a Nazi, right? Like usually they end up being Nazis themselves. It's very funny.
their artistic vision the way that it was intended to be, which
It's open to
and so,
interpretation.
I'm not saying
I don't
it's all
know.
good, but to say it's all bad is wrong. There's actually really beneficial tools.
The thing is, I just don't care that much. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think that drastically changed the episode or anything. You know what I mean? I just don't care. And I also don't watch the damn show. I feel like most of the people upset at this don't even watch Dragon Maid. You know what I mean? And those who do watch Dragon Maid and are mad at this are probably pedophiles. So I really just don't care that much.
Tools that can come out of this, and this is one example that a lot of people actually acknowledging, okay, good, all power to it. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Maybe some examples. If you like, it's been interesting looking up specific examples about the woke localization stuff and what they inject, and you can see videos showing examples.
It's not the
There's,
lesbians, exactly.
Dedicated YouTubers that actually kind of catalog this stuff, and it's always shocking some of the stuff that they inject into it. And what's also interesting,
See, but they can only give one example too. Like, what else is there? Like they said, My Hero's doing fine. I feel like, I don't know, like My Hero does, yeah, it's pretty standard, but I feel like it's made in such a way that that is attractive to like your average Tumblr browsing Zoomer or whatever, as far as they browse Tumblr. I don't know, like what else are they injecting this into? Like how are they injecting it? I don't see it anywhere. I see a lot of it in One Piece, but they never talk about that because that would be inconvenient because One Piece is very popular and very well loved the world over. So, that's the only reason they don't talk about it in that. I've challenged people on this before. They're like, no, it's not woke in One Piece, bro. Trust me. They do it low brow, bro. Not low brow. It's low key. They keep it low key in One Piece, bro. No, it's not woke in there. It's not like liberal woke shit. Even though it is. It's like the most liberal woke shit I've ever seen almost in an anime. But they don't pay it any mind because that would be inconvenient to their narrative.
is one of the talking points that they say is really, really bad is cultural appropriation.
I haven't heard
taking
anybody accused of
someone's,
that in a while.
cultural
export.
and appropriating it to say things that it never was intended to have sounds a bit like actual cultural appropriation.
But let us know in the comments what you think, if it's cultural appropriation or not.
Dude, that was such an epic takedown, bro. Oh my god. Yo, dude, that was really boring. I'm disappointed. I thought it'd be more exciting than that. I mostly just got mad at them about the AI shit. Fuck AI, man. The only good thing AI ever did for us was give us Plankton's covers of songs like Black Hole Sun. That's the only good thing AI ever brought me. Other than that, fucking hate it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.